Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Ladies of Sosa podcast. My name is Sarah.
And my name is Christine.
And go ahead and topic, Christine.
I knew you were going to do that. Okay, so in today's episode, we're doing a follow-up basically to our conversation, which we had last week, which was about financial literacy.
Yes.
And we have the same panel, but we've added two more familiar faces onto the panel. But we wanted to touch on the nuances of growing up here in America with the parent that's South Sudanese, but who has also had the experience of growing up here versus coming straight from back home, and kind of how that gives you like a different experience in comparison to, let's say, Sarah and I, or some of the members of our panel who have grown up with parents who came from back home and didn't really understand what it is to grow up in American or Western culture. So we're going to touch on that, and we're just going to just give you guys just a genuine podcast and just talk about like hot topics, different things that are going on, just letting the conversation flow.
Yeah, this conversation is not going to be super structured.
Right.
We're just going to literally have a conversation and kick it with our panel today.
For sure. And we have different age groups. We want to tap into the younger, I don't want to say younger generation because then that makes me sound old, and I'm not going for that. But
I'll do his best.
I'm not going for that.
The younger, the younger group. So we have starting from 18 up until whatever age it goes to. So to just give us like a different age range to where everyone can relate to.
Yeah.
Because right now, I think our demographic is like what?
18.
Is it 18?
Yeah. 18
to 35.
To 35, yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like some of our conversations might be a little bit
go over their heads.
Go over like the 18, 19, 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all think these 18, 19-year-olds ain't cognizant of like our conversations?
You know what?
Yeah.
You're right, Emmanuel. I feel like they're very in tune these days.
As an 18-year-old.
Well, yeah. Well, let's let an 18-year-old speak for themselves, because we have one on the panel who is very articulate, by the way, and very smart, beautiful young lady. So without further ado, I'll let Sarah introduce our panel.
Yes. So we have Mimi. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Mimi Claytu, and I am a South Sudanese. I live here in Dallas. And I'm also a mother to an 18, 17, and 3.5 years old, 3 and 1.5 years old. So I came to America at age 15. So I learned to live in America with my parents having to always translate to them and help them with their bank account, and sometimes even signing on behalf of them on paperwork. So I think I bring perspective of how it's like to grow up with the parents that just came to America. And in comparison, my daughter will hopefully be able to share how her experience now that she has a parents that had lived in America long enough. So.
Right. And Mimi is actually a financial professional. She was actually one of our special guests on the last episode. So can you please share with us what you do?
Yeah, so I have over 11 years in banking, and I'm also an insurance agent as well. So my goal is to bring financial education to my own very community. I'm starting with my own siblings, going on to their friends and to church members and people that I know, and I know they'll benefit from it. So I do help with financial workshops. We offer those online and so forth. So thanks for having me.
Then we have your lovely daughter, Lily. Go ahead and introduce yourself. And she got the mean green on because she's repping her school, okay?
Okay, your school
UNT,
too?
yes.
UNT?
Shout out.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't cause up, but hi, my name is Lily. I am 18. I am a South Sudanese second gen, I guess, in a sense. My mom had me at like 17, so it was like more, I feel like as I realized growing up, I didn't have the same conventional relationship as everybody around me and things like that. And I'm a college student. I'm studying biology on the pre-med route. I also just dibble and dabble on TikTok and Instagram with reels and hair videos and things like that.
Hair is laid.
Love it.
Thank you.
What is good, y'all? The name is Edward Mitri, first gen Sudanese, by the way, of Khartoum, Durman. Born and raised. You know what I'm saying? I actually came here when I was 1, not born and raised.
Yeah.
Baby type beat. But nah, I know one thing I can say is my dad, he came here 24, 25, and then because of him, now I'm here. And
Uncle was 24 when he came here?
Yeah, he was
Oh,
young.
he was
Oh, he's
young.
young. Wow.
Working 3-4 jobs.
Wow.
Let me ask you a question. Do you have a theory about your dad's like Have you ever asked your dad about like early American lore, like what he was down to doing?
Bruh. No.
Well, Emmanuel's in the building.
I've actually asked my dad about what he went through. He went through a lot. He went through a lot, like racism, all that. Like,
Ooh.
he went through a
Just
lot.
throwing
But
hands in the 90s.
it was a lot, but because of what he did, now I'm here. And so
That's
I'm
a-
very
I love
proud.
that.
That's a good time to come, though.
Yeah,
There
no,
you
for
go.
real.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then studying kinesiology, physical
Mhm.
therapist in the future. So yeah,
If anybody wants to get a personal trainer here,
I would love to.
Yeah.
For real. I know
Yeah.
some things.
Love
Yeah.
it. Love it. Tyrek.
Arno
Welcome
back.
Hey, how y'all doing? My name is Tariq or Arnabe on Instagram. I'm also 18 plus 18.
Stop. We don't believe you.
Black don't crack.
Yeah, it's 18 plus 18. It's facial. Takes a
Oh,
long
18
time
plus 18. Okay.
to get to this level.
It's the 18 plus 18 for me, literally.
I didn't catch that
Because it's
part.
literally.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, but yeah. So I'm in the IT space, data analytics. I'm also. I ain't like him personal training and stuff, but I'm in the gym heavy, so y'all can
Clearly.
catch me.
Yeah, no.
The guns
We
are
see
out.
it. We see it.
Oh, guns out, funds
The
out,
guns
suns
out.
out, guns
Suns
out.
out, guns out.
Yeah.
We see it.
Yeah, but yeah.
Thank
Guess we
you for
gonna edit
being
that
here.
out.
Thank you for
Again,
being
we love
God for
our
editing.
Yeah.
Chris, you are a new. Well, you were on the last episode, but you
We
have
haven't
been.
seen him in a while.
We
Yeah, it's
haven't
been a
seen
minute.
you
Where
in a
you
minute.
been, Chris? What's going
You know,
on?
I've been out in these streets, you know what I'm saying, trying to
Blase,
get the knowledge
blase.
to bring it back to y'all. You know
Uh-huh.
what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, been out and about, and I came with some information. So
Ooh, excited to hear what you have to share.
don't do that. Don't. All right, we poetic justice. All right, it's poetry.
The curls are curly.
Yes.
Listen.
Hey, you know,
So wow.
Very
I got a good
moisturized over
conditioner.
there.
Holla at
The
me with the
beard,
conditioner.
yeah.
I'm a conditioner plug, low key.
Love it.
Like if you want to know, holla at me. You know what I'm saying?
Period.
I'm surprised you didn't say blase blase in your
Blase,
intro.
blase, you know, that's my little thing.
That's
but, you
your
know,
little intro.
blase,
yeah.
blase, so on
Yeah.
and so forth. Keep it pushing.
Hey, Emmanuel, I love your shirt.
Seinfeld
Appreciate
fans
that.
out there.
Shout out to HER.
Shout out to her. You did a beautiful performance in the Super Bowl. If you're
Ooh,
single,
she killed it.
I'll let your boy.
Yeah.
We will tag her.
I'm
we
the
talking
second half of PSP plus size pretty boy. You know what I'm saying?
Productions.
Y'all
You know what I'm saying? Just gotta let you know.
My bad, I should have said that.
Podcast and production coming soon.
Period. Y'all better have us on there. I
Yes.
swear to God. I'm not playing with y'all.
You're
Y'all
right.
Don't
better invite us.
Don't act brand new. We want to be on the show.
Please.
Of course not.
That's a hard name.
I like it. I
Plus
actually
size
like it.
pretty boy.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's
It's
really
different.
it's really catchy.
Is that scissor?
Also, I didn't get to tell you this. Me and my sister are gonna be filming the video for the song that I showed y'all last time,
Okay.
and
Not
we're gonna
tonight.
have y'all be the ones to drop
Yeah.
it on the podcast. And then
Exclusive.
obviously,
Exclusive.
if you want,
Are we invited to the video shoot or
theme
Are
no?
we
song.
invited? That's what I was gonna say.
I mean, if y'all want to pull up to the video
I
shoot,
thought he
okay.
was saying we're gonna be in the video.
I mean, if y'all want to be in the
We
video,
gotta
I
dress up
Nah,
in what?
because now we begging.
Give us the outfit. You know what I mean? Thank you.
mean, the only thing is y'all gotta have grills,
thought it was
cowboy
an
hats, and
invite.
boots. That's it. That's all. That's all. The girls.
Everybody's going into country like Beyonce's like.
Oh
doing
no,
the whole
don't
country.
That's where the money's
We've
at.
been had a country EP.
Yeah, we've been on that, bro. Like
we've been
that's
set
so
up.
that's
last
where the
year.
money's
We've been
Oh,
on
that's
that.
why y'all fought me
Oh,
over the
Ty.
country thing.
It's amazing.
I mean, first off, the Cowboys was a derogatory term for specifically for black and I think
Indian and
and
Native Americans. Yeah,
I thought
So-
also Mexicans and Tejanos,
Mexicans, yeah.
but then the
Right.
name was so cool for them
It's still derogatory.
that the ranch hands were like, you know what,
Yeah, 'cause
let's
they're state-
appropriate the cowboy name. So people don't know that.
Educate
And
us.
shout out to the Cowboys for
Emmanuel,
losing
educate
again.
us on Black History
Shout out to
Month.
the Cowboys.
Yeah, get off my
Hating, bro.
team. Get off my
For real.
team.
Like y'all hating, like y'all don't even got a team.
Dak is
Yeah.
not a top 10 quarterback.
Okay, this is not a
right,
sports
get it.
podcast.
Come back to this. This is
Right.
good. This is
Good.
good. Before we do that, we do want to jump into the first topic real quick. Basically talking about the nuances of like how we've grown up basically as first gen versus second gen. We're about to have kids, inshallah, hopefully in the near
Mhm.
future.
That's-
So we have here Mimi and her daughter. And as Lily said earlier, Mimi actually had her daughter at 17. So I feel like they were kind of growing up together. You guys can't tell, but their relationship is so beautiful. And I really hope that in the future I'm able to have the
Emulate
same
that.
type of
Me too.
connection with my daughter, because mother-daughter relationships are always kind of tricky sometimes. So
And it seems like you get it. With
yeah.
a lot of our parents who are a little bit older, didn't grow up in America, they don't understand a lot of the experiences that we have, so it's hard for them to tackle it. It's not their fault. They just haven't been through it. So how
Yeah,
can they
yeah.
tackle things that you go through in college, boys dating? Because in their
Yeah,
culture, it's like boys.
yeah.
You don't. you don't talk to boys until you're married, you know?
You just gotta pretend that that's not happening in your life, and
and then figure it out on your own.
I feel like you can go to your mom and she's gonna be able to be there for you and give you sound advice. Versus with us, it's like you kind of have to go to your friends, and we don't know, so we're telling each other BS, and we're like, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I think this too.
Exactly. Yes, I would love for you guys to touch on your relationship. And for Lily, I want to give you a chance to talk because we didn't hear from you last episode. But for you, as an 18-year-old, someone who's grown up with a mom here who's South Sudanese, who came here at 15, like, what has been your experience?
I think for myself, like growing up at first, I instantly like recognized like how much younger my mom was than like the most like the aunties we would see at church and things like that. And sometimes like I remember we used to hear comments like, because it was just my brother and I, and typically, you know, our people usually have like 5+ kids, or 4 to 5 to 6 range and stuff like that. So for my mom already being a single mom, having 2 kids, so she already looked like, from our cousins, they would be like, oh, you guys look like you guys have money. Like, you guys look like you guys have this and this and that. You guys are spoiled. And then whole time, really, it's just, there's only 2 of us. Like, you can't really, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think, like, for my mom, I got to really see her grow up. Like, I don't think she realizes how much I really seen her grow up. Like, I remember getting, like, you know, because at first, when she first had me, we stayed with our grandma and things like that. So, like, I really saw my mom transform to the beautiful woman that she is today. So it's like, I got to, like, learn through her mistakes while also, like, coming to her about my own mistakes and, like, having an open dialogue. I feel like with our people, like you guys said earlier, you guys talk to your friends about what things you were going through and things like that. And friends are good, yes, but at the same time, friends can give you the wrong judgment that you need,
Or
advice and things like that. And I feel like
you're just lucky. I'm gonna just tell you that. You are blessed and lucky. I had to go through that in order for you to have it easy. And I'm not gonna lie, I mean, coming to America is like a shock for me, because here I am, grew up in Egypt, and then coming here at 15 and then learning how to navigate relationship and everything. But I didn't let that stop me, because I was like so determined. I was like, I need a better life for my child. You know, you got to have that drive within you to make a change and to be able to pass down. So some of the comments I was hoping she gonna mention that, but some of the comments from her teachers, like, oh, you're so young. Because when it's parents conference teacher, I'm showing up with probably looking like, I was so skinny too, so small. And I would show up there like their big sister or something. And they're like, oh, is this your mom?
Right.
I thought that was your sister. Oh, that's the common.
Field trips. I'm always volunteering because I probably have a lot of free time to do that. So
Right.
I think that's a big thing. I think for parents is because and you said it in the last episode, is like a lot of Sunnis parents is like they see their kids as like their babysitter once they get old, their financial need when they get old, et cetera, et cetera. But then it's like, as a parent, what you're supposed to do is like Nguyen had a great quote. He said, I can see so far because I stood on the shoulders of giants. And as a parent, that's what you are. You're a giant to your kids, and your kids supposed to stand on your shoulders so they can see far. They're not supposed to be there helping you and giving you your need. They are supposed to take what you give them to take it to another level and build that wealth. I'm at an age right now. I don't have any kids, and looking back, I'm looking at my
inshallah next year.
No, he said he don't want to get married. He don't want to have
Nah.
I
already got plans. I already got the names for all my 5 kids.
Oh,
so that's already.
I thought he was about to say. I thought you were about to say I got the names of my 5 wives.
No. It's 4 wives. It's 4 wives. It's 4 wives.
Oh my God!
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
Well, he got 5 kids on the way. So
But
next
no.
year.
No, I don't have no on the way.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
I don't have no kids that I know of.
Wow.
But I do. I am planning. Yes, I do. I do have the names of all my 5 kids that I'm trying to have.
That's lit.
But I think. But looking back, it's like, when I look back at my parents, it's like, at the same age that I was in, he already had 6 kids, I think, by then. So I'm thinking, am I behind? Like, am I ahead? So it's hard when you get to this level, because a lot of times, like I think he said earlier, it's like, his father had, when he came, he was like 24.
25, yeah.
I'm thinking in my mind, like, 24, I was still a baby at that age. I didn't know anything. Like for me, if I had a kid at 24, 25, I would have been crazy. But there's people who's having kids at 17, 18, and once that happens, you have to figure it out. So I think it is. I think it's difficult for the parents that came here when they were young, and then because they have to figure out the environment, and then you got to figure out the kids, and it's so much. So it's a lot easier for us. I guess we're first generation. I guess I'm first generation for us because we've seen the path and we've seen what's wrong, what's right, and we can kind of divvy it up and kind of pass it along to our kids.
Right.
And you just said something so important about not knowing whether you're behind or ahead. And I feel like that's a huge struggle for us growing up here because it's such a different time and we're not getting married at the same age, and we're not having families. So it's like, we might be establishing ourselves in our career, being able to build wealth and build for our own personal lives. But it's like, am I ahead because of that, or am I behind because I don't have a family yet? I'm not married. Like I'm pushing 30 or I'm 30 or mid 30s. So I think that's such an important point you just touched on. A lot of younger kids too, because of social media, are feeling like they're behind. Like I'm not making six figures yet. I'm not. And that's just not realistic because in the real world, I feel like it's only like 5%. I don't know the exact percentage that actually make six figures. Like the average median income is way lower than that.
It's growing though. Yeah.
It's growing, but it's still nowhere near.
But it's
where
growing.
People think it is in their
but
mind.
I think yes, because social media is a liar. Social media gets you thinking.
It's not the real world.
The census comes out every 5 years. The census gets everybody's. IRS got all your income, and the IRS is telling you there's only 1% making this amount of money.
Exactly.
But social media will have you thinking everybody, because if you go to Miami, I can get a rental, a Lamborghini rental with four of my dudes. We can put $500 each for that weekend. We flexing. Guess what? We got 20 outfits. I'm gonna take pictures with all these 20 outfits in this. It's like a lot of times that you may be rich as far as like on paper, but you're not cash rich because even in the last episode we talked about it when you can make $500,000 a year as a doctor, but your liabilities are so high, your expenses are so high that you're not even really making that much money. Somebody's making $50,000 working at a warehouse is actually living better.
But with social media, it's like you have to show that you're making the money.
Yeah,
like you don't want to show your debt. You
don't want to show when you're down. You only show when you're up.
So that got me kind of curious. So like, this is kind of a question for Miss Mimi. Like, you came here young, right? And I've been around Sudanese people, man, and y'all like to party heavy, right? All right. Have you ever? Was that like a thing for you? Did you want to have fun? Did you not have fun? Did you enjoy yourself? Or
were you outside?
Outside.
It's the only way for me to stay put and really choose because I have two options. But no, luckily I had family support, right? I had siblings. Actually, I have two younger siblings than I am that love to go out. And it's always like, we're going to find a babysitter. Don't worry, let's go.
Right.
But I've done that in a place where I'm able to also keep myself steady. And I had a decent job that I wanted to keep at the time. So that played a role of how many times am I going out and also just looking at like, okay, what kind of exposure do I want to put myself into because it's going to really affect my image and my reputation as well. And being from a South Sudanese Dinka family, that a lot of pressure on you. It's how you carry yourself and how you're presenting yourself in the community played a role as well to keep me kind of grounded.
But also we got the outside, because me and you, we kind of closer in age. The outside that we grew up in was a lot cheaper than the outside that is currently.
We're the usher.
Yeah, because we used to, you can travel to another state and spend $500. That's it.
Right.
Now,
it was everything.
It's $500 every day you're spending.
Back in the days, we go to the club and we're set. Now
you're set. You got to get a table. You got to get a section, bottle.
You want a camera
service.
It's like
to talk about how they've killed clubbing. Because I was we're a generation where I had a little bit and then like they've killed no more dance floors.
Yeah, no more.
They've taken away the dance floors. Now it's all sections, bottle service. Valet,
it's lounges now.
And it's like literally you don't have that atmosphere where you could just run into someone at the club on a dance floor or something. It's like everyone's partying in their own individual sections, and you just party with the people that you already know.
Clubs got killed by the
and then bottle wars.
Clubs got killed by the 3 S's: the sex workers,
the scammers, and the single people. Because what happens is like it used to be just going out and having fun.
No,
and
the
dancing
single
at the
people
club.
still out
Yeah.
there.
I mean, the single people still out there,
still
but
out
you
there.
know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the single dudes out there. That
Oh
just,
yeah, bottle wars.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm trying to flex
Scammers.
on you.
It's true because I just can't because I was in Vegas for the Super Bowl and you go to a club and these clubs are huge in the hotel. Like they take 5,000 people and you go in, you expecting like I'm expecting I get in for free. It's gonna be a dance floor, but there was no dance floor. It was all sections. So you get to that point, it's like now I gotta pay for a section. I got in for free, but there's no dance floor to actually meet anybody. And even if you meet somebody, they're looking at you like, oh, you ain't got a section.
Yeah.
Why am I talking to you for?
You know, but I feel
You know what I mean? You got no value.
What can you do for me?
What we doing? Where we going? We gotta get an Uber.
I don't think it was. Man, what's the three S's?
Right now you don't,
What's the
'cause
three
where am I gonna
S's?
sit?
Scammers,
Scammers.
people, and
Sex workers.
All right, you need to add a fourth S. I think that's social media kills.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say that.
Take single.
I like
Yeah, because
that.
it's like you said, it's about the flex. It ain't about the
Yeah.
party and all
Yeah.
that. So
People
As
pouring
a-
champagne on their watches.
right, like
And
so,
you're not even really having fun for real.
Mm.
Like you
Yeah.
just want to look like you're having fun.
Or you just want to
Sure.
look cute.
Have you ever had someone be like, "Oh, you look like you had so much fun," but you were there in real life? It really wasn't that
You was
lit.
bored as
But
fuck.
you highlighted the best part when the bottle came out.
Right.
You record
But with
everybody
a-
having fun.
Right.
with the little flares and all that.
That's how-
Niggas have to put out a
But-
sunduk for a section, bro. That shit's crazy.
For real. For a whole set, bro. Like, dang.
Hey, if you watch the last episode, you get the joke.
Listen, if I ever
But,
find out y'all doing sunduk for a section, I don't think I'm done.
Bro, I did a Saduk for a section. I didn't even know I did it.
What?
Right?
You know another thing? Back in the day,
Nah, we
you
used to
could
pitch in for a section.
the
back
dance
then.
floor.
course.
We would be partying, dancing and stuff, and you don't worry. You
Cheap
leave
back then.
sweaty, looking a hot
Yeah,
mess.
you
Nobody
good.
cares.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna be on people are gonna record you.
Yeah.
I think that's another thing. People are afraid of being recorded
fun.
and
Yeah.
posted on
Well,
social media.
yo, so
That's
I
true.
wanna
That's
know-
what makes me mad because the sections y'all used to look like the clubs that were in the music video.
And it was
Yeah.
lit.
Like, in Hollywood, y'all
lit.
sweating
Come on,
We actually
$100.
had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Actually,
you
No,
had
you had
fun.
workout.
no
Now
phone, no
workout.
selfie.
Yeah.
Like, we were actually
to look like Terry
connected.
In the
Right, y'all
moment.
was-
Yeah.
Now if
We
you
was
Y'all was
actually
out
having
there
fun, yeah.
gyrating and
But
going
now
crazy.
if you dance too hard,
You don't know
too
who's
hard,
gonna
someone's
record
gonna
you.
record you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah.
yes,
And I feel like that's another reason why people are reserved because it's like, ooh, I like this song. I do want to
Yeah.
dance, but
But
Yeah.
you
But,
dance a little too hard. If you
can,
stand
no,
out,
you can find those clubs, but they're usually in ethnic places. So like we've gone to a couple. He's seen me tear my ACL damn near 3 times.
Yeah, that was
club.
He tried to do the Jamaican
Oh.
dance party
So I
stuff.
said I need
It's like a country bar. But I'm kind of curious, like, so as an 18-year-old, us talking about it, like, how do you feel about it? Like, what's your take on what you feel like the club scene is or what it should be?
is she even in the club scene?
Nah, but
I'm not sure.
I feel like
do you
I
get
feel like we're
worried? Do you
scaring
get worried
her.
about Lily and the club scene? Because college, UNT is a college
Party.
See, I
Like,
think she
for-
got to
for-
live through us. Like,
yeah, I
she
really lived through my mom and her younger siblings and their friends because every time I'm like, you know, as a kid, you supposed to be asleep. I'm just walking like
Ooh,
to the
do
bathroom
tell,
and
do
stuff, and
tell.
my mom's having her like little kickbacks. The bottles are out. Everybody's having their time, and I'm like, I always made a note to myself. I was like, yeah, never drink that much ever. Like my aunt and stuff like that. Like I always had that guidance and always like. So when I got to college, I really wasn't that entertained. I wasn't so like. I feel like a lot of like South Sudanese kids, they're so like
Hostage, yeah.
captive, like really held captive. And so like for my mom,
Captive,
like I
yeah,
like
right.
got to go out during high school. I didn't have that like older sister experience where I had to take care of my siblings. I couldn't go to games and stuff like that. So I had all that fun during high school. So once I got to college, I was actually really tired. I didn't really want to go to parties anymore. I was I was like so like open and got to experience and like talk to my mom about it, and she would be like, "Oh, don't do that." I remember a few times I would come home a little bit tipsy. She's like, "Don't drink that. That stuff is gonna make you like, you know." And
Y'all drinking the cheap stuff? The
yeah,
Amsterdam?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
shout out to the Amsterdam.
No,
No,
that's what I
don't do
gotta
that.
tell.
Yeah.
Yo, this is
Don't do that to
Have
me.
a bad
This is
headache,
game.
baby.
This is game for the women. This is game for this
Yeah.
women because the reason why y'all get so messed up or so you have a bad hangover is because y'all do that sweet stuff, man.
Oh, the sweet. The
You gotta
sweet
stop
liquor.
Like Ciroc.
Yeah, you gotta woman
I
up.
don't do Ciroc.
You know what I'm saying?
But I
And
think
do it straight.
Yeah.
I'm a man.
But I think
You like sweet
I think she made a great point where when she like her mom did not tell her not to do something.
Right.
She's seen. A lot of times it's like we as I'll say I'm an uncle and other parents is like what we say is like, yo, I don't want you to do this. Guess what I'm gonna do? The
Right.
minute you say don't do that, I'm gonna do that.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
so but if you tell me not to do something, but you tell me why I shouldn't do it, like you say, hey, don't drink this bottom shelf, like because people like,
E&J, shout out to E&J.
you know what I'm saying? Because
Yes,
if you're drinking, you're drinking. Don't get me wrong. Now drinking is not a good thing to do. Do not do
Right.
that.
Do not drink
Do not
for
drink.
Disclosure.
Yeah.
Do not
Yeah,
drink
don't-
under
do
age
not-
of
don't-
21.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do not drink under.
But I'll say is like when people come out and be hard on, be like, I don't want you to drink. I don't want you to do that. What you're giving them is you telling them they should do that.
Try
thing
it.
because
Yeah, I think we're naturally
they should try it.
rebellious like that.
We naturally
Yeah.
rebellious about it. So I think a lot of times like when she say she's seen, she comes down, she talked to her mom and they have a conversation. A lot of our older, I guess, zero generation coming in, we didn't have those conversations. We just
Yeah.
we just went with it. We're like, hey, because a lot of times like because I know growing up it's like when I want to go out, I was nervous to ask my parents, can I go
Yes.
out?
You gotta find a
You
lie.
know, because it's hard.
Same.
Even to this day, I don't drink in front of my
I've
parents
never
because
drank
it's
in
just
front
a
of
respect factor.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of the kids now I'm seeing they're drinking in front of their parents,
And
which
that's
I
the
don't like
difference
about
between the
that.
But it's
generation.
better.
Yeah.
It's better for it to be done in front of your
But
parents.
it's different though. It's
Yeah.
different though.
I was
It's
gonna
different.
say it
Go
has
ahead,
to be
Mimi.
a
Yeah.
relationship
They have a-
established. These
thank you.
boundaries has to be
Yeah.
laid out. Like there's
Yeah.
certain things, not only just drinking, but I'm just saying there's certain things like going with the wrong friends or having a boyfriend at a young age or whatever that is, right? These are the things that I explain the why, because without explaining
That's-
the why,
yeah.
well, you're saying
Yeah,
that.
you're a salesperson. That's a salesperson
Then-
right there. The why is the number one thing you always
and
being
the
in sales.
benefit
That's what
for
you have to. You always gotta explain the why.
in the long run and a short term.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, giving them the reason why, I think that's the one thing I didn't probably get a lot growing up is the fact that we just get a no with no explanation. But then
Yeah.
knowing how to explain, don't do this now because this is what's going to happen. And that's what American people are doing with their kids
Yeah.
today. You see that
Yeah.
open relationship is because they establish it from they were young. They know that, hey, whether I want to or not, they're going to get to it and do it on their own.
Yep.
So it's better for them to understand their
Well,
option
yeah.
before they get into it so they can make a decision.
Right.
And we'd be underestimating our South Sudanese kids.
Mm-hmm.
We'd be underestimating them that they could make the right decision on their own.
Yeah.
It is easy for them to, yes, follow a friend or two, but also they have their self-conscious that will kind of guide them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and that's one thing I learned. I'm like, you know what? Whether I want it or not, she's gonna do it, but then let her understand the consequence.
Right.
Mm.
That's
And I think the older generation doesn't tell you the no and tell you the why because they don't really know the why because they didn't really experience
they're
it.
afraid of.
Yeah,
my mo-
they didn't really experience
Yeah,
it.
they didn't really experience it, so they don't really
Yeah.
know why it's no, but it's no.
Like, why
Like,
there's a school dance?
Right.
No, you're not.
Why
going to
can't
the
I
school
go?
dance.
Why are you going out
well,
right
because
now?
I don't know dancing is bad. Like
But
or
I think that
yeah.
makes sense. 'cause
Yeah.
you're like,
alcohol, like don't drink. My
But they
mom
don't
never drank.
understand dances
Yeah.
and prom, and they don't.
Yeah.
Right, they don't
Right.
understand
But
it.
it's
So
like
my
you're
mom,
saying.
when I went to college, my mom was like, "Make sure you stay away from don't drink at all." And I'm like, "Why? I'm 21."
right. And I feel like
I don't know. Like
I feel like
just
you
because,
ask yourself,
you know?
you ask yourself why, and so your curiosity is like, let me go figure out
Your
why.
curiosity kicks in.
Exactly. And then that's
Yeah.
that curiosity can also turn into harm sometimes
Yeah. Of
course,
because
yeah.
Yeah.
without knowledge, like I feel like, and also fear, and like I said, for myself, I didn't act on like I see some of my friends, they act on fear and just do things, or they it's made them not want to talk to their parents at all about anything. Like even
Yeah.
not just those type of things. It's like even just day-to-day problems. They feel like I can't talk to my parents, so I just have to make my own decision. And sometimes with that fear can really cloud your judgment, and I feel like
Yep.
that's where a lot of mistakes happen and things like that.
That's
and
a
that's a
good point.
big thing. Yeah,
I'll fight back on that because I grew up with parents that were super strict, right? But I didn't care. I snuck out. I did everything else of the wrong way, but my siblings learned from my way. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And I think the blessing is like my parents' structure helped me to always have that voice in the back of my head, even when I was in situations I shouldn't have been in with people that definitely were more dangerous than me. But I just looked big and intimidating, right? So I was just like, okay, I'm gonna keep going with this. But when I look back at it, I was like, I told my brothers, okay, these are the people you can mess with. These are the people you can't mess with. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't do this. And they get to have that kind of conversation. This is where I got a better connection with my siblings because I think elder siblings, you kind of have to go through that with your parents,
Right.
and you get blessed by it. So for you, you had to go through that with your parents because you were in America, and so I think that kind of led you to be a better parent. So my parents got the benefit of being Sudanese parents and giving them the structure that they needed, while having me and my brother Juju being there to be like, okay, this is what you can and can't do. This is where you mess up. And that's why my sisters have been the way that they are, and I love them for it because they know the ins and outs. They know men. They know Sudanese men like the back of their hands.
Your,
They're not gonna
your
be-
parents were strict on you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I think
your,
it's a cultural
your mom
thing.
was not strict on you. I assume.
I don't think my mom was
Oh.
strict. I think she just gave me the reels and the outs. I think she didn't restrict me. I think she just tried to guide me as best as I could. And if I did
love
it,
that.
I would just own up to my mistake, and she'd be like, okay, and we'll work through it. You know what I mean?
But
Right.
let's clarify, because I was still kind of strict when they were growing up. Because
yeah,
I had
like,
to teach
it's-
them a foundation of discipline.
Yeah.
There's consequence, right? They know what sold us, you know. They know that. But at a certain age, you're gonna have to transition from beating or discipline with harsh of either, taking their phone away, put them out. I don't know what kind of discipline out there everybody went through, but I feel like there's some age, like at some point, there's an age where you have to transition the way you discipline. And I think for her, when she reached that age of like 10, 11 years old, I don't anymore just do harsh discipline. I have to make sure now I explain myself. I also take away things, electronics, take away her time with her friends when she wants to hang out. All of these things add up to her today, knowing like, okay, if I don't get my act together, I'm probably going to get in trouble. And it doesn't have to be always a trouble of being whipped. It could be a trouble of just like, hey, I'm grounded, you know?
Yeah.
But I think a lot of it is like because peer pressure is out there, and a lot of people, they have, you know, peer pressure and they have their parents. Both of them are just noise. So it's all about which one are you amplifying? Which noise are you amplifying, and which noise are you going towards? Because your friends are gonna tell you, hey, we should do this because it's fun. Your parents gonna tell you like, don't do this. Yes, it's fun, but these are the consequences. And even though, because a lot of times what discipline does is that discipline is the end result. It's not the beginning. So the end result is like they go and they mess up, and now you got to discipline them.
Yeah.
But if you're able to give them, articulate them in the beginning, like this is not what you should be doing.
Right.
This is why. They're not going to get to that point where they need to be disciplined. And I think a lot of times is that now we're getting into a point where even I think the last episode I was doing mental health is that we're getting to a point where we are learning about mental health and like having a conversation with somebody and not just thinking,
communication.
nope, you're not, I don't want you to do this because I'm your parent. Instead of asking like, this is the reason why I don't want you to do this because I've done it before and this is what happens. And you're able to articulate to them point by point what is going to happen. And then even if they go and do it, they can at least come back to you and be like, okay, yeah, you
This
were
is
right.
why I did
That
it.
transparency and like
having that transparency.
becoming human to your child and letting them know, like, I feel like that creates a moment of connection because it's like, okay, mom's human too. She's done this and I can learn from her versus her just telling me like, oh no, don't do that.
Do it at all. Yeah.
And also raising your kid. That's such a good point because like Emmanuel was saying too, there's certain things that I like, no matter who I got around as I got older, I just wouldn't do it just because of my mom and dad's voice in the back of my ear. When your parents lay that foundation for you and the morals, the values, the guidance, no matter where you go in this world, it's gonna follow you.
In our community, like our South Sudanese community, we don't really talk to our kids, or our kids are not supposed to express themselves because it's like it's almost like it's disrespect. Like what
You
are you
would get
talking
in
about?
trouble.
You know,
You would get in trouble for expressing yourself.
you know, what are you saying? You can't even like be like why or challenge. We talked about that in the mental health episode. It's like a kid is supposed to be seen, but not to really be spoken to.
Not to be heard.
Not to be heard. You
Yeah.
just tell them.
Have you ever tried to tell to your parents
That's still
about
true.
something and then end up getting in trouble for it? Like
Yeah.
you really try to have a moment of vulnerability.
They're like, you did what? Give me your
That's too much
phone.
TV. That's
They
too
end
much
up
Disney
getting in
Channel.
trouble.
Exactly.
Okay, speaking of that, have you ever told your parents something that you like? So for me, one of my favorite things is to do with my parents is to give them like a shock of like what I was doing back in the day. So I'll just be chilling with them. I'll be like,
You're a menace.
and my mom, you know, whenever I told you I was going to church this one day, yeah, I was doing a drug deal in South Dallas. With a friend. Like, not.
Wait a minute,
That's
what?
an example of something.
You're just joking.
I'm just joking. But like, let's say this is a hypothetical. Like, she's like, let me get an 8-ball. It's like, I was out here in the middle. I was like 2 hours away in the middle of a country town. I didn't know it was close to a sundown town, but I was with these white boys with Chris, just getting messed up.
With
and
Chris,
eating.
you threw Chris under the
Not
bus.
you going
Goddamn.
Chris in it.
That's why she looked at me funny that summer, bro.
Wow.
Some things need to remain unsaid.
So you told your parents this?
Yeah, later on, like
No.
I would tell them like 3 years later, and she'd be like, "I knew that night you were in a church Because I was thinking to myself, I didn't have it. I was like, Mom, you were doing double overtime that day. What were you going to do to me? I was 17. I had a job.
Yeah.
Are you saying that's the solution is to tell them later on?
Negative.
Because here's the thing. You tell them later on, and then your siblings, they know how to speak to your siblings now, and they know how to communicate. And I see him like in a way, like he's so protected and insulated that I love it, because it's like I want my children to be treated the way that.
But we also have to realize that parents, it's a learning stage for them too. So if you're the older siblings, you're most likely going to get the harshest.
You're gonna get all the heat.
Yeah. And what they're going to do is they're going to be learning, okay, I messed up here. Let me.
So Amanda,
the next one and the next one. By the time you get to like fourth, fifth kid,
they're
who's
professionals.
the baby? He's
Amanda, do you
autopilot.
think that you telling your parents what you were doing later on was like, okay, now I know, now I have more information to raise the younger kid?
Yeah, because now they
Know
know like, so for example,
The
my brothers and sisters will come to my house, or like I had an apartment at the time, and my brother was going through high school, so he would go to parties and he'd be like, "Hey, Emmanuel, I'm 19, 18, 17. I'm not gonna snitch on him, but let's just say he was at a party and his friend was too lit to be able to pick him up. I would go over there, pick him up, let him stay at my house, and then my mom would ask, "Oh, was he at your house this whole weekend?" "Hey, he was at my house this weekend." Because he brought himself at my house this weekend.
You're providing like
safe space.
The
that
bridge.
safe space. So I wanted to bring it
because
to Mimi too. What are some differences that you saw with the way your parents raised you, and then the way you were able to then turn around and be able to raise your daughter?
Yeah, I want to make sure, like you said, safe space. I wanted to make sure that she has a place that she can come to no matter what the damages is. Don't get me wrong. Some of the conversation we have, I just have to like,
Yeah.
you know, I just
Yeah.
have to pull myself together, because it's either me hearing that and giving the right advice, or a friend of her having to give the wrong advice.
Yeah.
So I always try to just take it as, you know what? The environment we're in is so different than the environment I grew up. Therefore, she is facing a different battle than I am, what I had a chance. I mean, I grew up in Sudan, and even a teacher will whip you for coming in late to school or having your uniform dirty. I went to all
Shout out
public
to
school in Khartoum,
San
Arabic.
Cairo, Egypt.
Right,
You
the
got
teacher
whooped
has right
daily.
over you than your own uncle or auntie
Yeah.
to punish you, and that's the environment I grew up in. So therefore, I'm like, you know what? She's in a whole different environment. Her friends at school are basically laid back parents, right?
Yeah.
But also there's a consequence in every action's taking. So she knows exactly like, okay, if I do this and my mom doesn't agree with, then I'm gonna get in trouble, right? So she has to know that there's consequence in wrong action. But also for me, it's just like establishing that safe space. So for her to come back to me, because I will be able to protect her no matter what, you know?
How old were you when you came to America? Because now
15.
I just found out that you actually grew up in Sudan.
So I left
Yeah.
Khartoum when I was 10 years old. So I
Okay.
went to all Muslim school from like kindergarten all the way to 5th grade. And I would wear a uniform, wrap my head with scarf, and you know, when it comes to like Quran time, the religion period time, I get excused and stand outside while they're going through that. But I have to always practice their dress code, their way of talking, even dressing. If I come there with ashy or dirty socks or stuff like that, it does have consequence in getting whipped in your hand by the teacher. With the
It sounds like
Roller.
Catholic school over here.
That's kind of how Catholic school was in Cairo. As somebody who
Catholic
was
school?
Muslim, I was
Yeah.
Muslim going to in Catholic school, and that's how they do it. Like they go to church,
Yeah.
they'll excuse you,
Yeah.
but like you said,
it's
the
a
teachers
cultural-
they'll
The
whoop
teacher
you and they'll
have
call
right
your
over you.
parents, and my father will come down and whoop me in the morning too, and I'm like, I already got whooped already, like.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question for Miss Mimi?
So you
Yeah.
grew up with both sides, like you're the cultural, like back home in Sudan, and then also in America as well.
Right.
So
yeah.
you saw both, and then you just weighed. You had the
I-
opportunity to weigh the.
Yeah, because it
Yeah.
gave me the foundation to how to be disciplined today myself as well.
Yeah.
Because it helped me to get through the challenge of being young, teen mom, and be able to still finish my high school, go to the universities, and hold a job. And today I'm also trying to just raise a teenager myself. So I'm like putting all of those experiences together, and it's a great background to have, because a lot of the parents today who didn't have the opportunity to have the mixed background do struggle in some areas.
Yeah, they only
today.
see it one way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a
Yeah.
question for Miss Mimi, because like I'm learning a lot about parenting when they get to that age, right? And you talk a lot about guidance, but is there a time where do you feel like there's a certain thing that they need to learn on their own without any guidance at all.
Oh,
Like,
definitely.
and I want to ask that for everybody, like,
Yeah.
because like for my mom, I was raised by my mom by herself, and she kind of understands like it's hard for a woman to teach a man how to be a man. You know what I'm saying? And I had to figure it out. I figured it out by myself, or I learned a lot by myself
Yeah.
because she understood that, and so she was understanding with everything I did. So she can guide me for so long,
Hmm.
right? Because there's I was gonna keep it real. Like I feel like there's certain things a woman can teach her son.
Yes.
There's something that a real man has to teach, their son as well, or their kids, son or daughter. So I just want to know, like, you think there's some certain things that a parent can't necessarily guide their kid on that they have to learn on their own?
Oh, definitely. I think no matter I've heard so many advice, don't do this, but yet it happened, right? So then I learned from it. So that way I next time won't do it. And I think for her as well, there's certain things that I advise her on. She still did it. I'm not saying this is perfect right here, but it's a work in progress because that's how human beings are, right? We learn from our mistake in order for it to become like a discipline that is not going to change, right? I mean, as far as like what your background, I think for me, it was, I have a daughter and a son who are 18, 17, but then I have younger kids with my second marriage. But what I figured out is that there's certain things I couldn't teach my son at teenage, right? I couldn't teach him how to be a man. I can't do that. I can teach her how to be a woman. That's easy. But my husband stepped in and he was able to be the guidance, a role model for him. So I think it's important. Also, him growing up, he had role models, uncles. I have like 4 different brothers that were around when he was growing up. So that was kind of a father, big brother figure at the time, I guess. Along with my dad as well, he stepped in a lot. And even though he was in Africa at that time, but he always showed that, that love, father figure love. So I think at some point you need help. I mean, you can't do it all by yourself. You need that someone that they could relate to. She can relate to me.
Community and that
Yeah.
it takes a village to raise a child. I can say, like, for myself, there's stuff that my mom taught me, but like the aunts and uncles and cousins that I had around me really taught me more. There was like yes, I'm in a space with my mom where I'm more closer, but that time where I felt like I needed an older sister because I'm the oldest, so I didn't have a sister or brother to look to. I'd talk to my older cousins; they'll help me out. Like how Eman was saying, like you helped out your brothers and your brother in time of need and stuff like that. My older cousins would do that, and I feel like that shaped me into who I am because the village around me.
Yeah,
just
everybody has a role.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a question. Because that was a great question, Chris. Like, are there some things that your mom or your dad can't teach you? And a taboo thing in our community is with mothers and parents and children is sex. Do you guys, as a South Sudanese mom and a young South Sudanese daughter, do you guys communicate about sex?
I mean, you bring awareness about sex.
Yeah.
But you don't communicate if you're having one. I just feel like that topic. I mean, this topic is hot still. As much as I know what I did, but it is hard to accept your own doing.
Yeah.
But I think bringing knowledge and bringing all the awareness, like to be careful and all of those things, it's easy for a mom to say to a daughter. To a son, like that's gonna be like, okay, how do you have this conversation?
Yeah.
You don't.
To a son?
Mama, get away from me. No.
Yeah,
You're not having this
Like,
conversation.
are you?
It's uncomfortable. But I wish my mom would have talked to me about sex. But when I started my cycle, my mom cried, and I was like, "Why is she crying? I don't understand why she's crying. Well, what's the big deal, But I think it was a realization, like now you're stepping into womanhood, and now there's a potential of you like getting pregnant. But she never verbalized that to me, and I understand why, because our culture is just like you don't talk to children about that.
But I think she made a great point when she said like it takes a village to raise a child, because most of the stuff that I learned as far as talking to women, sex, etc. I learned it from an uncle, Uncle Mario. where when I was 14, 15, getting to that stage, I was like, okay, what's going on? I couldn't go to my father and talk to him because he just didn't feel comfortable. It didn't mean like he told me not to talk to him about it, but I felt like, okay, this is a
It's
guy.
embarrassing a little bit.
Yeah, he's an uncle, and I felt like he was kind of closer to my age, so I talked to him more, and he taught me a lot of the game, and et cetera. And I feel like that's how it should be, but because it is easier depending on the sex. Because I feel like with my son, I feel like I can talk to him about anything.
Right.
With my daughter, I'm like, nah, you're stuck in this house until you're 21 at least.
Yeah.
I don't want you to talk to nobody.
With your daughter, you got to treat them both the same, because I think instilling sexual discipline in both children is something that is necessary.
Oh yes,
because you as a father need to be able to instill the discipline up to them and be like, look, hey, you might have this, but just know that like you have to be disciplined in your sexuality and who you allow to have that energy around you.
Yes,
do that.
I love that.
And to add on to what you're saying, bro, I think it's like you were saying, but I also feel like I don't know, I don't have no kids, but I feel like it's easy for us to talk to children about what they're going through because we've been through it. But I feel like it's hard for them to come to us sometimes.
Oh.
Because like I said, it is like you said, like you couldn't talk to your
that's
dad,
true.
you had to talk to your uncle, because like talking about sex and stuff like that, it's like it's not like you can't talk to him, but it's not an easy subject to bring up to your.
Yeah,
I think it's more of a comfort level. It's like even like just talking to your boys. You're easier to talk to
exactly
to your boy about your wild weekend than to talk to a coworker about your wild weekend, even though they're kind of in the same. Yeah,
but you don't want to get
yeah.
get sex advice from your friends.
Oh no.
Right. I feel
they be
like
making
I
up
would
crazy
rather
stuff,
get
bruh.
my sex advice from my mom, because your friends gonna
I think,
tell
but
you.
They're uncomfortable too, is what I
Yeah,
realize.
because I'm like,
your parents are also uncomfortable with the
yeah. It's like we both.
Wait, are we
Who do we
forgetting?
talk to?
There's the internet. Like, first off, there's the internet now. Nowadays, there is no conversation.
Wait a minute.
No. Not what
The
y'all think.
website.
I learned
Not
from
what y'all
school.
think. Not what
School
y'all
taught me.
Oh
Yeah.
school-
Oh yeah.
The
I remember.
puberty video.
Terrible.
Oh my gosh. I have a story for you guys.
Me and my parents, we've never talked about sex.
Yeah, it was all
just
health
never-
class.
It just
Health
never
class.
happened.
That's
it.
it.
Just never happened.
What's the story, Lily?
What
What's
happened
the
in
story?
I remember it was
They told you
in
not to do it.
what is it in 5th grade. I remember
grade,
I
yeah.
came home with a paper slip, basically that to like get
for permission.
permission if we can learn
Yeah,
about
and they
sex
look at you
education.
like,
I gave it to my
nah.
mom, and I literally never seen her just go so blank. She was just like, huh? And I was just like. I was trying to plead my case. I was like, Mom, I need to know this stuff and basically and stuff like that. She was like, I don't know.
But I think we're more
that
equipped
shows
now.
that you also like you have grew up here and you understand, but there's
Yeah.
also some parts of your culture that
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
still
I think so.
conservative. Yeah.
I'm now accepting it. Yes,
Yeah.
I do have still my South Sudanese.
culture. Yeah,
And I
my
feel the
blood.
same way.
I
'cause
love that. Though.
Remember I
Yeah.
tell you, it's like it's a cultural thing. It's like,
Yeah.
I am open and stuff, but I do still feel very Sudanese.
Yeah,
at
we have the
heart.
privilege to pick and choose. What
Yeah.
we
I
want.
think
Nah,
we just let go with the control of
Yeah.
like pulling back.
Yeah.
I don't care.
But
For me,
what
my
Chris was
kids.
saying is
I
like,
want to talk to my son. about
yeah,
sex.
you can create a space that you
So you
feel
do it,
is
don't you?
comfortable for
will.
your child, but is it comfortable for them? I think that's an important thing too. It's like,
Yeah.
do they feel comfortable enough to come to you, even though you might be like, yeah, I'm open, yeah, why?
Yeah,
You know?
it's-
Yeah.
But it's like, do they feel like they can actually come? And I think that's like an introspective thing to be able to be like, okay, I might feel like I'm open, but am I really open?
Right.
Does my child
Yeah.
really feel like they can really come to me,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to
Yeah.
have like
Push back.
exactly.
Yeah.
'Cause I think it's easier said than done. Because I have a niece who I love to death, but if she comes to me and talk about sex, I don't know what I'm gonna say. Because I'm sitting there like.
that's
So
the
I think
thing.
you need to process
But
that.
now
You need to
if my
process it.
my
yeah,
nephew
you
comes
can
and
talk to
talks
your
to
niece
me,
about that.
I'm like,
Yeah,
let's
but
chop it up. We'll chop it
who
up.
are
If
women?
my
Who
sister
are
comes to
women?
me,
Women have to talk to. I'm sorry.
have to talk to
This is gonna sound
somebody.
sexist.
See?
This is gonna sound sexist. Women have to talk to
Nah,
women
that's my
because I think there is a
Exactly.
boundary.
Yes.
So-
I disagree.
Yeah.
I disagree.
Go
Women
ahead.
have to talk to
One
women
person at a
because
time.
here's the thing: as a man, you do not know what it is to be sexual.
But I know
yes.
I know the
have no
what the
idea.
thoughts
Look,
of a man is.
You can talk
my
about.
sister's 17. I'll tell her exactly what it is. I'm like, look,
I'm not talking about that. I'm
not
talking about,
like that. I'm just saying who to keep away
Who to
from.
keep away
I'm talking
from.
about when they're going through those moments, you have to allow women to have their place. Because for us, we just tell them, hey, these are the kind of dudes that are
But
bad for you.
no,
These
but
are
I
the kind
think a
dudes
lot
you
of
should
times
stay
like
away
they
from.
know.
But you need both,
when
though.
they come and talk
You
to
do
you.
need both,
If
but-
she comes to talk to me, she's not talking to me. Hey, how this. She's telling me, hey, I have this guy who wants to talk to me.
Why would
but
you
he
feel
says
comfortable
this,
talking
this,
about
this.
that?
Because at the end of the day, it's like, why are you even talking to a guy?
See?
That's number one.
Oh, that's the sister.
It's like that.
That's what I'm gonna start with. Like,
Now your uncle.
now I'm like, okay, bring this guy. Let me
those
talk to him. I
type of
want to see
reactions-
Hold on. Go ahead.
I was saying those type of reactions, it shuts kids down because like I
But
feel like
I don't say it in a harsh way like that.
See, but at the same
I
time, as a
love
child, like
it,
for myself, when you hear those reactions and things like that, even though for you as an adult it doesn't seem that dramatic to you, but for a kid, it actually shapes them. So it makes them think, oh no, like last time I talked to them about this, they had this reaction, so no, I'm not gonna go to them.
Yeah, exactly.
And you just close that whole.
close
You
that
just close the window
book.
without even
Yeah.
thinking about it.
Oh, we following you to school. We gonna have to see this guy.
We can easily put a cover
I'm about
over
to see
it
this guy.
and
And
pretend
that's
it's
the
not
thing.
there.
I really want to ask Lily, like, just because we're gonna have to wrap it up soon.
Yeah.
But just from your perspective, because obviously, except for Chris, and he's our brother, but we kind of have grown up within the South Sudanese culture, just different generations.
Wait, Chris grew up in the
different-
South Sudanese culture. He been with us since I was
Yeah, but
like, but you know, I'm not in that
and
household.
13.
He's definitely grown
There
up.
with my
in the-
dad.
Are you? Yeah. I'm I'm always honorary Sudanese.
What's a mula
bro,
combo?
but I
Honorary
understand.
Sudanese.
What's sambusa?
What's a musa? What's a mula combo?
Medida.
What's Medida?
Combo.
He's giving you a cheat code.
He don't know. He just call it. He just call it
Chris?
slime.
Chris.
Oh yeah, call it slime. Call
He
it
calls it
slime.
slime. He calls it the
Sambusa.
square.
See,
thing.
calling it
know what
slime
it
is already a violation.
Slime?
Oh yeah, I had it
Calling
before.
it
Like if you
slime
showed
is
it to people,
already
like yeah.
violated.
Janjaru.
We cannot call it slime.
I'm sorry. Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, but
I'm
yes,
trying to give you a
I just
quiz,
wanna
like
ask
pop
you
quiz out of nowhere.
because
Nigga, let me
I
see.
really want to tap into like I have a brother that's your age. He actually goes to school with you, and I'm his big sister. He's my baby brother that changes diapers, but the age difference is big, but not that big. And I really am curious as to what is the experience of your age group. What are you seeing? What are your struggles? You're in that age to where you're in school, you're in college, your experience, everything is new, fresh, exciting. The world is your oyster. What is your South Sudanese experience as an 18-year-old college student right now?
I think really for myself, it's like having the realization that not everybody is like as connected and educated about their own culture. I feel like for your guys' generation, like you guys are first gen, so you guys know, you've been back before, you know what it's like, you know how parents navigate and things like that. But like for like younger kids who haven't went back, who haven't really, they barely know their native tongue so much, it's a little bit harder. I feel like for myself, I was lucky and grateful to go back a couple of times and get to see things and be around my older grandparents and things like that. But a lot of kids, I could say, like, who are 18 and South Sudanese, like, they just know they're South Sudanese, but are they, like, really educated and know, like, who we really truly are? I feel like that's a lot of a struggle.
And you're so tapped into that. I know your mom was saying that you always try to look for your people, even on campus.
Yes.
And you're always just trying to be a part of, like, organizations and just tapped into the culture. How important is that for you, and how much does that play into your identity, knowing that, yeah, I'm American, but at the same time, I am South Sudanese American?
I think I realized as soon as probably for myself in middle school, I was like, you know, I was in my my whitewash token black friend era at that time. and I think I had like a realization that like at the end of the day, they're gonna go back to their American culture. If I don't know where I'm from, I have nothing to go back to because my mom is only here for a short period of time. I have to do my own educated. I can't live off my mom's culture without knowing my own culture and just thinking, oh, I'm South Sudanese, but really you don't know your native tongue. You don't know how to communicate to your people. You barely talk to your relatives, things like that. And so I feel like for myself, I just had to realize if I don't look for my people and try and find that community, I'm going to be lost and be walking amongst people trying to find myself in other people's culture.
Preach, Lily. That's why you're here. Honestly, this is our future. This is our future. You're just so articulate, and I feel like having a sense of knowing who you are is so important. And like as a woman, like at that age where you're starting to like come into your own and know yourself and find your identity, just being able to know who you are and stand in who you are and like, I'm South Sudanese. This is my culture. This is who I am. It doesn't matter. You put me in a room with any kind of person, I'm gonna stand tall because I know who I am. That's so important. So
and it's more challenging. It's more challenging. It's gonna be more challenging for your generation than it is ours because of the closer proximity that we had to, you know, family members that were strictly from that, you know, or friends that grew up in that culture. The fact that you're actually trying to learn is actually very admirable and we
Stars.
So
Thank
proud of
you.
you.
Proud
So
of you.
proud of you.
We're so very,
proud of
very
you.
proud
Yeah.
of you.
She's not
And-
only just involved in like South Sudanese or East Africa in general.
I'm,
Can you share a little bit about your experience with Black Union when you first
Oh
started?
yeah, basically I was like really involved. Basically at my old high school in South Dakota, I was just like really involved with our Black Student Union and making sure that we like passed policies to be more inclusive towards Black students, such as like we got a policy to pass for head wraps, do-rags, and bonnets, basically to allow Black students to come to school, and clothing items to make them feel like themselves and don't feel like they're being culturally discriminated against and things like that. And then when I moved to Texas, I basically started the first Black Student Union at my predominantly white high school, and we faced a lot of challenges at first.
You can't just brush past that. That's amazing.
This is a leader right here.
And
Like,
so basically now that I'm in college, I'm just trying to like establish myself as a freshman while also trying to like, meet other people, because I don't want to just only focus on people, which I love, which is not like a hateful thing, but I don't want to limit myself to just only knowing one type of people, but all of the diaspora. I feel like a lot of the times, yes, we're South Sudanese, but I feel like sometimes people get caught up in like, I only help my people and I only want to know about my people, but I want to know about all of us, because at the end of the day, we really only got each other's back. It's not really a South Sudanese battle. It's a battle of all of the
Black
diaspora.
diaspora.
Come
Right.
on.
Young,
I love that.
young Pan-Africanists.
Yes.
We love it.
Yes.
Honestly, it's an eye opening because I'm learning a lot from her also as a South Sudanese, because I'm not so involved in the other community, whether it's African American or other African community that are here too, who came as an immigrant. But she does dig into those community. Like, she's not afraid to really get her hand dirty of just understanding, learning, and researching, and even mingling with her with the community just to gain some knowledge. She's just a very research type of person.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
grateful because
Shout out to you, Mom.
I'm trying. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of it is on her own too. Just her personality is very like open, and trust me, I've met a lot of friends over the years come over to my house. It's like, you don't remember this person? Well, this person, and that just shows because she's so united. She just loves to be part of the people.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
So Lily, we're gonna need
Beautiful.
you on some of our panels because
Yes.
we're
Oh,
tackling
yes.
some of those topics that are
And we
like,
really want
Black
to touch
diaspora.
like your age group and
Yeah.
Oh
the
yeah,
fact
most
you just-
definitely.
I can just see so much in you. It's so cool to be a few years older and to just be able to see you're just gonna do so many amazing things. You're like a leader and you're so articulate, and I feel like you just have a strong head on your shoulders. You know what you want, where you want to go, and I just hope you keep that same fire and
Well
that same
together, man.
spirit as you get older and life starts to,
Thank
uppercut you a little bit. Just keep that same energy. And we will be here, and you have like a great support system in your mom and stuff, but just keep that true essence and spirit of who you are, and you're gonna go far.
Yes.
That fight.
And in pure Ladies of Sosa fashion, we have ran out of time. So we have to go ahead and get everybody's
Final thoughts.
and tell us where we can find you, all of that.
Emmanuel, what do you have going on these days? You and Chris.
Yeah, talk to us.
Oh, yeah.
Drop it, man. Drop it.
PSP, plus size pretty boy, coming soon. We're also dropping merch and some other stuff for the big boys, the big girls, the big peoples,
Plus,
I like it.
plus
and also the
community.
small peoples that are
big
big at heart. You know what I'm saying? For everybody, it's all inclusive.
Okay.
Some colognes and some perfumes.
Some
Really?
perfumes.
Oh,
The
okay.
fragrances been working on.
I like it.
Called
Plus size
Divinely
pretty boy as a
debonair.
fragrance sounds really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know why?
I
Because
can smell it already.
a lot of the plus size pretty boy community, like, y'all kind of be reeking out there.
Yeah,
So we
big
got
boys.
you
Can't have that big boy steak.
Oh Lord.
I am so
Between the
good.
cracks.
Yeah, the
Oh,
crevices.
my
But anyway,
Got some body oils and
it's
some
all love.
stuff.
It's
what
all
are
love.
these two gonna say after?
Listen,
muscular
y'all are
crew.
taking this out. Not y'all supposed to be representing the community, but you're low key.
No,
Why are you
no,
digging
I'm
at your
saying, like,
people?
if
You're
you're
creating
from
division.
that-
Thank you, sir.
No, I have no.
I said they're creating division.
Don't put me in it. How I get in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Shout
get
out.
it. But anyway, that's what we're doing.
No,
You know,
but that's
what we got
actually
going
great.
on.
That's actually they found their niche.
Period.
Niche market.
We'll be dropping another line later for the petite size.
You found
found
the
the
need,
market.
and you're
Yeah,
creating
we-
a
we-
the
we-
petite muskies.
No,
the
no,
musty
no,
petite
no, no.
women.
We just want to know. It's not really all right. We're just joking and all
We're
that.
joking
But,
on that,
but yeah, we do have fragrances. We do have a whole bunch of stuff
essential
going on.
oils, for
Yeah.
spiritual.
We got going on, but you know,
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
We look forward to seeing everything that you guys are
Yeah,
going to
it's
put
coming
out.
soon.
So.
We're also coming out with a ASMR Strictly with our voices.
Dang.
Edward said, "What are y'all not coming out with?"
It's strictly with our voices, but we're shirtless.
Okay.
Oh.
Next. Tariq, Edward, what y'all got
All right,
going on?
so yeah, you can catch me on Instagram, Tariq, Arnabe20. We are coming out with a podcast too, Fit Boys, Pretty
Okay.
Boys.
Period.
You know,
Fit
we
size
got,
crew.
There we go.
we got essential oils, but it is not for what you're thinking it is. It's not for no health benefits at all.
Oh, okay.
It is for other things.
For what? Oh my
We
gosh.
don't want to know.
Please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's like if you got you got the
Think
Louis
about
and
it.
you gotta condition
Okay,
the Louis, the leather.
okay,
That's what it is. You gotta
okay.
condition.
What y'all thinking about?
What were y'all thinking about?
You know, I have no idea.
They gotta slather up the leather, slather it up.
All right. Thank you to the Fit Boys and the plus size boys.
Plus size pretty boys.
Right. I can't not.
Fit size pretty boys.
You told them to sell their product and they did, okay?
I needed a warning or a disclaimer.
Right.
I will ask next time before we
Please.
promote these
Please,
products.
let us know what you're promoting. Just kidding.
Okay. But to bring it back
I
wholesome.
I've nothing.
No,
to
don't
promote.
take it
You
back
can
now.
just-
It's
you can
okay.
just
It's already in the air.
Yeah, you can
Just
edit that
Stand
out.
on it. Stand on it.
Oh, we gonna
But-
stand on it.
Lily, do you have anything going
Oh, y'all-
on?
y'all
I know you
skip-
said you're
y'all
doing your
skip-
social
y'all
media
skip.
thing.
Oh,
Skip my boy.
Oh, y'all were together. Y'all were coming up with the
yeah,
Fit
yeah,
podcast.
yeah.
Edward, sorry,
Edward,
Edward.
can
You know, Edward got to be
Edward,
like,
please.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Edward just has a German roller.
Look, bro, I'm just, you know,
You
it
better
ain't.
hit it.
I can see you doing like protein shakes,
Yeah.
like something to like help you gain or lose. I can see
I
that.
actually do put together workouts and stuff. and
That's what I was
so-
thinking. Yeah,
Yeah,
workout
man.
plan.
If y'all got goals, just let me know. Like, and always remember, it ain't a thing but a chicken wing.
But he never want
Okay.
to see me in the gym.
But also, give me some grace outside you a piece, and I would
Okay.
love to. What? I'm here with it.
Wait. What about all four of us? We can have a lifting
Yeah, let's
contest.
get it.
bro.
Let's get it.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Y'all
Yeah.
work out?
I'm in Midtown,
The plus
Midtown
size
LA.
pretty boys work out too?
Yeah,
I thought that was a brand to like.
look, we're plus
embrace.
size.
Plus size don't mean you want to
Is
get.
that contradictory though?
No.
Like
wait,
you know how people embrace
That
their
is
like
not on
celebrities
brand. That's not
who
on
are
brand.
big who embrace their like them being big and
You
then
can
they
still
lose
be
weight.
plus
They
size
lose
and
weight
big,
all
though.
of
You
a
can be
sudden.
plus
I'm
size
like,
and
wait,
healthy.
what?
Have you never seen power lifters in your life? Like my brother's
This is
office
it?
allowed me. We lift every freaking day. Like it's not like
Yeah, just to say
just because we big, we just eat a lot more.
Just to
That's
be
it.
healthy. Just to be healthy. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, we got
All right, Lily. Sorry, I know you got like your social media. You're doing a
Yes.
lot of big things, so please plug yourself.
You can catch me on social media platforms at Lily Nigel. And basically, if you need your installs or a good wig recommendation, you can check out my TikTok. I do promote hair, and I'm just playing around with that right now.
I will be hitting you up.
I will be hitting you
before
up
we
as
go to
well,
Morocco
because we
I
don't
need
have anyone do our hair.
Yeah, exactly.
Won't we just talk about natural hair?
You have hair.
Oh
Natural hair. You have hair. Your natural hair.
Oh,
Thank
God.
Thanks for reminding us, Edward. Thank you, because I almost forgot.
But did y'all not see Sarah with the kinky texture?
And I need y'all to get in the comments and talk about it since
That
y'all love
Rick
talking
James.
about our
Yeah,
our
they're gonna
straight hair.
ignore this one.
Yeah, they're going
Super
completely
freaky.
ignore. I need y'all to come in there. The same
Yes, Mimi kinky.
Yes.
Tariq
Yes.
got the dreads.
We got the memo.
Please. Yes, thank you.
I need y'all in the comments going up for the hair, like
they
the way y'all go in when we wear weave.
They talk. They
Exactly.
want to
Okay.
see y'all's cornrows. Like what's really.
Oh,
under
the
there.
jailhouse braids.
So
So
that
we
they
got
can-
you.
so that
I'll
they
do
can
that.
make fun of us.
I will finally, if that will make them stop bullying us,
I will do that.
I'm
Can we
open
just do
to
one
it.
episode?
No, because it's not gonna be good enough.
They're gonna be like, no, you should have worn it in your natural
Just get
state. Let
garter
it out.
braids. Get
I
garter
mean,
braids.
if you're gonna go
That's
that far,
fine.
no makeup, none of that. If you want to do natural,
I don't
See,
mind
with
the
it.
bar
I'm not
keeps
afraid.
getting raised.
I'm saying, if you're gonna go for it, go all the way.
Mimi, please
Oh,
plug
man.
yourself.
All right. Well, Mimi Clayton on all social media, aka the Queen, Money Queen lady. But
I like that.
I'm all about financial education. That's my area, my space. So reach out if you ever wanted to get a little more information or resources. So
Yeah, and you're open to anyone in the Black diaspora, right?
I
Not
am.
just South Sudanese. So
I
if
am.
you
All of our listeners,
anybody,
all of
anybody, your
our-
audience.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
she let us know she got these workshops going down.
Yes,
and she let us know. She let me know. I
I
don't
don't
know if
have
this is
the
me or
book
for
with
the
me.
Yeah.
for the public.
Y'all better
It,
lock in.
yeah,
Yes.
it's
She
free.
has
She
a
says
whole
free,
book.
right? It's free.
it is
Free.
free.com.
It's free. Like,
Change
come
your
on.
life.
Yes,
Today.
yes. And
It's
just
been
just to learn the basics, like and just to get the groundwork is so important because you can't get to learn about investments and stocks until you learn like budgeting, like the start.
People be
So,
charging
I
like
agree with that.
Yep.
Got the woodworks for that.
All right.
It's free.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning tuning into the Ladies of Sosa podcast. I hope that, you guys get in the comments, talk to us, interact with us, and follow our panel and reach out to them. I'm sorry, Christiane, I didn't mean to cut you off, sis.
Oh, no, that was... Got it. Okay. Thank you guys so much. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I feel like that's my part.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You look.
And we'll catch you guys in the next episode. Bye, guys.
Love y'all.